Well, we got some Joker 2 updates. We'll start here with the box office. Turns out they actually overestimated a little bit. They had to walk back the actual domestic number because it was at 40 million yesterday. They've now corrected it. It actually now only made 37.8 million in its domestic opening. Less than Morbius. It made less money than Morbius. Is this movie really worse than Morbius? Yes. Yes, it is. At least Morbius gave us some memes and stuff. There was benefit to Morbius existing because at least we got a lot of great memes. Remember those memes where he was like, had his arms out, like greatness in front of the box office, and people would make those fake numbers, and there was some other things. That was funny. So at least we got that. All we've gotten from Joker 2 is depression. It's very sad. So they had to correct it. There's another thing that got changed. The cinema score actually went down again. It is now not only on track to be the biggest comic book film flop of all time, it's actually the most hated. So that used to belong to Fantastic Four 2015. Remember that turd? Not the ones with Jessica Alba. I'm talking about that weird one that Fox did. The third one. It was a reboot. The weird one where they brought in Michael B. Jordan to play Johnny Storm for some reason. So, yeah, this movie has a D. So Cinema Score, which polls moviegoers during a film's opening night, gave the sequel a D, which is considered the lowest cinema score ever given to a studio comic book movie. Before Joker, it was Fantastic Four 2015 that held the bottom mark with a C-. I can't believe it's only a C-. Is this movie really worse than Fantastic Four 2015? I don't know, man. That movie's pretty awful, too. That's a tough call. That is a tough call. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Which is worse? I think what makes Joker 2 worse, obviously, is that it ruins the first one. It destroys the first one, in my opinion. It never needed to be made. And I know that's what a lot of people say, but they're right. It never needed to be made. Not everything needs a sequel. And I get it, it made a lot of money. But I almost wonder, and I still think that maybe Todd Phillips did this intentionally because he doesn't want to do a third one. I don't think he wanted to do this one. I don't think Joaquin Phoenix wanted to do this one either. Nobody wanted to do this movie, except maybe Lady Gaga. I think she's just happy to get into a movie. Speaking of Lady Gaga, there's a little bit of outrage surrounding her character and journalists. They cut a scene where Lee kisses a woman, which is appropriately cut because she's supposed to be obsessed with Arthur Fleck's Joker. But for some reason, and it was an improv moment, which is why it happened. It was when they were doing that scene on the courthouse stairs. So apparently somewhere in there, in an improv moment, she kisses another woman, and it got cut because it just doesn't work. Not a lot of outrage around that yet, but I think it's because a lot of people don't know. It was appropriately cut. Why are we introducing that into the story? But there's going to be people that are mad. I can't believe they would do that. It was an appropriate cut. But this is nothing compared to this. Apparently, now Joker 2 is also sexist.
What a story, Mark.
Yes, you heard me correctly. Todd Phillips is a sexist, apparently. So, we're going to talk about this article from Polygon. That's right, Polygon is back on the menu, boys. It's been a while, but we're back because they can't help themselves. You have an easy W here, Polygon. You could have defended the movie, because this is what I'm kind of shocked about, that they're going this route. I guess I shouldn't be shocked because it's kind of default for them, but they could have easily have just went with everybody else and talked about how this movie educates the fans who misunderstood the first one, and they got what they deserved. Instead, they go this route, and they're like the only outlet I see going this route. But it's pretty funny. So first off, right away, they complain about Todd Phillips, and this is what really has them mad. His era of making Bros Will Be Bros comedies, where he just gave women regular, just not substantial roles, and they just existed to be love interests. It's a movie about dudes. Why do they have to give the female characters big arcs? This is so dumb. And this is basically what they complain about here, because Harley Quinn is reduced to a fangirl. They don't like that. She's a crazy fangirl. He could have written her as a multi-dimensional character, is what they argue. But instead, he reshapes the relationship that she has with Arthur Fleck, or Joker, and leans into stereotypes and portrays her as a crazy fangirl. Instead of an individual, she should be an actual person instead of a crazy fangirl. Because remember, she's a psychiatrist in the source material, but now she's just an obsessed fan. But it could have been better if she was a psychiatrist. If only she had worked at the prison. But now she's showing a history that Phillips has, where he's neglecting female characters, reducing her to her relationship with Joker. I'm not kidding. This is the shit they're crying about in this. She doesn't have her own agency. Her motivations are more about Arthur embracing his legacy. And it's like, how is how is this plot supposed to move forward? Like, this was his artistic choice. For what it was, that's what he wanted to do. Why can't people do that? I hate that I have to defend this movie, but saying that out of all the problems this movie has, sexist is the biggest one is bullshit. And it really seems more like a hit piece on him for the movies he's made than anything else. That's what it came off to me. That's how it came off to me. And they compare it to her adaptation in Birds of Prey. And I don't understand why they're bringing that movie in here. That movie's also a piece of shit. But it's like, these are two different worlds. They've already said this isn't the actual Joker either. So I find that comparison to be kind of stupid, because that doesn't make any sense, and it's unfair. So writing the article and talking about the portrayal that Margot Robbie gives, it fails to recognize that this is a different adaptation, and it's a different narrative purpose. The film is not meant to emulate the themes of Birds of Prey, but it's what it's actually trying to do is explore a darker aspect of love and obsession, which is still kind of the same thing that the character does in the comics. But of course, these people aren't fans of the comics, so that kind of goes over their head a little bit, because everyone at Polygon is an idiot. So the portrayal isn't sexist. In some ways, it kind of is the same relationship as the comic, except at the end when she leaves him. But, the obsession part is pretty true to the character in a way. And I hate to say that because, well, I don't like this movie. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.